We're out here at the Luminary Lopit. It's a beautiful night. We have plenty of families and onlookers, free hot cocoa and beverages, and we have a fire thrower right behind me providing entertainment for the night. From the inside, this might look like any other body shop. But if you step inside here, it's quite a different story. And if you can just imagine the intensity and the force behind that explosion, certainly enough to level the whole home, but enough to send huge chunks of debris like this into the neighbor's yard across the street. Volunteers are getting an early start this morning here at Lake Phalen on some spring cleanup. Over 1,000 volunteers are expected to show up in nearby Minneapolis and St. Paul parks. And you can see all of the garbage left over from last night's riot. There's glass in the street, there's beer cans everywhere, and the residue from this bonfire. Now, police are hoping that with the help of students, it'll all be cleaned up by the end of today. In Minneapolis, Allison, Hugill, 5 Eyewitness News. The grounds crew is putting the finishing touches on the field just before the game. A construction crew ruptured an underground gas line that caused this Edina home to go up in flames. Firefighters spent all afternoon trying to put out the fire and salvage what little was left of the Augustins' home. No one was in the home during the explosion, but once the flames went out, there was still explosiveness in the neighborhood. This neighbor 2 houses down says it never should have happened.
Yeah, I think is a general feeling in the neighborhood that it's been handled poorly. There's been very poor communication and erroneous communication about it.
He says he went outside to talk to officials 2 hours before the explosion because he strongly smelled gas in his home, but was told not to worry. 11 minutes later, the Augustins' home burst into flames. Neighbors were evacuated after the fire. There was no mandatory evacuation before the explosion. The blast was so intense, store workers 6 blocks away could hear it.
It almost sounded like somebody ran a car into the garage door.
And if you can just imagine the intensity and the force behind that explosion, certainly enough to level the whole home, but enough to send huge chunks of debris like this into the neighbor's yard across the street. This home video shows the fire still burning several hours after the explosion. Neighbors say the community and the beautiful home the Augustins once occupied will never be the same. From the inside, this might look like any other body shop. But if you step inside here, it's quite a different story. Oscar Hakimi has loved working on cars since he was young. So much that on the 4th of July in 1977, he left Iran and came to America to follow his dream of opening an auto body shop. In the beginning, he had no clients, no staff, and he had to learn English at 38 years old.
I know hello, but I didn't know what mean hi.
With the help of his son Ramin, the family business is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. Ramin says the key to their success is the way they run their shop.
The effort that you put in your own business is taking care of your family. It's a member of your family.
And that family includes their loyal customers.
Thank you.
My name is Ramin, if you have questions.
First year customer, still they are coming here. Even they send us a lot of business, or their relative, their children, they come here.
One of the ways they provide quality service is by using a higher quality European paint to do higher quality paint jobs. Technicians clean, buff, and mask up cars before they get painted. Ramin has taken over the family business, but he says he couldn't have done it without his father.
To make his dreams come true and set an example to provide for your family.
I believe I was a strong man, and I said, I'm going to make it. And fortunately, I did.
Hello, my name is Ted Dennis, and I'm here tonight hosting Voices for Change Forum.
First Lutheran Church in St. Paul has a cable access TV show called Voices for Change. It's produced by volunteers who are, or used to be, homeless. Maurice Trebet is handicapped and used to be homeless. He says he used to depend on other people to help him, but the program has changed that.
It feels good right there where a person don't know you, and they give you a chance to do something, to see what can you do.
The show focuses on issues of homelessness and poverty that affect low-income and homeless people. Ted Dennis says the show is a way for low-income and homeless people to influence local policy.
People talk differently when someone who is experiencing or has recently experienced homelessness is sitting there along with the other decision makers.
The church's multimedia collaborative partners with the St. Paul Neighborhood Network to broadcast the show. New volunteers go through a training class to learn editing and producing skills, but most is learned on the job. Voices for Change is part of the church's community outreach program called Love Grows Here. It was started by Pastor Chris Berthelsen. She hopes the show will lead to future opportunities for the volunteers.
Certainly technology is not going to go away, and they're gaining skills that are life skills that they can take with them, whether they're here or whether they go someplace else.
For those who run the show, it's a step in the right direction. Allison Hugill, University Report.